to Pwned. I'm Sean Welby.
And I'm Matt Cuttle. On this month's show, we've had a bunch of producers come down to the Pwned studio for some exclusive interviews about some of EA's most anticipated titles.
Coming up on the show, Matt goes in depth with Bioware's David Silverman about sci-fi RPG Mass Effect 3 and gets some very exciting news he wasn't expecting.
Sean chats to SSX producer Sean Smillie about how his love of comic books has shaped the game's look.
FIFA 12's lead producer David Rutter joins us in the studio to update us on the latest and possibly greatest game in the series.
And Sean discusses the heavyweight lineup behind Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning.
But first, Alice Madness Returns has been out for about a month now.
I'd say about 4 weeks, yes.
And in the southwest of the UK, there's a bar called Loading, and they've decided to make some cocktails based on the game.
Those cocktails are called Tweedle Rum and Tweedle Tea. The rum is a mix of black Sambuca and Mount Gay rum set into a jelly, and the tea is a mix of fruit tea, vodka, and elderflower press, whatever that is. The recipe's on our website. It's not.
Right, now for something completely different. FIFA 12 is fast approaching and there's so much to talk about in the new game, we literally couldn't fit it all into last month's show.
Which is why lead producer David Rutter popped into the studio this time to tell us more. Last time you were on the show, you told us a bunch of stuff about FIFA. The game's almost out. What new stuff do you have to tell us?
Part of it is the EA Sports Football Club. We announced that at E3 and also our kind of developments in career mode this year, kind of expanding on the manager mode experience.
Okay, so let's start at the top. The football club, what's it all about?
You'll create a profile. That profile is going to stay with you forevermore. And basically what will happen is each time you play the game, you will earn experience points. Each time you get experience points, you will level up. When you level up, you'll be able to compare your progress, your skill, your dedication directly against your friends in your kind of social group on your console. You can also go onto easportsfootball.com and compare it wider than just your kind of immediate friends on your console. See who the best FIFA gamer is, see who's doing great, and also see some news and information about what they've been up to. Beyond that though, I mean, I'm a big football fan. I think people know that. I'm a Leicester fan. So with a feature we call Support Your Club, you'll be able to pledge your allegiance to the team that you support in real life. And then basically when you're playing the game, not only will you be accumulating experience points for yourself, but you'll also be accumulating it along with all the Leicester fans for that team. And during the week, the average kind of score of the fans of the clubs will see the teams go up and down the league tables. At the end of the week, it's the end of the season. At that point, teams will be promoted or relegated based on the rules of the leagues that those clubs are in. And it's a live service that kicks off this year with FIFA 12 for no additional cost. And what will happen is we will kind of take inspiration from the real world of football, rip headlines and fixtures and kind of cool results or interesting situations, throw them into the game to keep it fresh and exciting for our fans throughout the year.
And what new changes have you got in the career mode?
We've done a lot of work on player and manager AI, so you'll see a new morale system for players. Players will become unhappy because they're not being paid enough, they're not being played enough. They don't feel that the club's doing well enough, or you know, they kind of think that the captain on their team's kind of weak. The managers that you're competing against will come in and will be kind of serving you curveballs, for want of a different term, basically trying to steal away your best players or you know, offering loans for players. A bunch of cool stuff that we haven't really had in the game before. We've done a massive new transfer deadline day feature where we've kind of increased the fidelity and activity during the transfer deadline day, where you'll see multiple rounds of negotiation against kind of clubs and players that you're interested in.
Now, last time you were with us, you didn't announce who was going to be the new voiceover alongside Martin Tyler. Alan Smith is now doing it.
That's right.
I guess he had to record the entire back catalogue of everything that has been said or will be said. How long did that take him?
It's taken a great deal of time. Thankfully, he's a true pro. I guess it's because they kind of do it for a living.
Guess so.
And, you know, working with those guys has been brilliant.
David, we were chatting to Solomon Kalou the other day, and he had this to say.
I think in the game it make me a little bit slow. So if we can fix that, that would be good.
So David, can you make him quicker? Is that something you can just do a little favour for him?
We have over 100 editors that go in and set all the numbers, and then we have over 1,000 people that review that to make sure it's accurate and authentic. We try to avoid speaking specifically to football players to allow them to say whether or not they're faster or stronger or better passes.
Thank you very much for clearing that up. Solomon Kalou, in a word, no.
What football team do you support, Matt?
Liverpool.
Oh, well, never mind. Anyway, enough about soccer. We've moved on. We're talking now about snowboarding. SSX is out in January.
Incidentally, the month of my birthday.
and the team in Vancouver are making sure they're putting loads of effort into this new game to make it a triumphant return for the series.
Which is why producer Sean Smillie took time out from his busy schedule to come into our lovely Pwn studio and tell Sean how it's all coming along.
Race It's back, Trick It's back. Tell us about this new mode.
So we have a new mode, third pillar of gameplay, Survive It. And basically it's in the deadliest places around the world, most iconic mountains, and you get out there and it's you versus Mother Nature, you versus the mountain.
So what sort of things will the players expect to be chasing after them?
Big avalanches, bad weather, crazy conditions, ice, snow, rock, everything we just throw in the kitchen sink at you.
So basically it's surviving it, but in true SSX style, looking good doing it, yeah?
Looking good doing it, having lots of fun. We're rolling in a new trick system, so pulls from a lot of the stuff we used to have in the other games, and then we've just amped it up big time now.
Now what's really awesome is this uses almost a Google Earth-like interface.
Yeah, what we've done is we've utilized NASA technology that was had public access, and what we did is we used that technology as the foundation for building sort of 9 of the most iconic mountains around the world. And with that, we were able to take the mountain, put on our own tracks, kind of SSXify it. It's got a certain color treatment to it that makes it look better than reality.
Cool.
It's very fun, it's very beautiful, and it's not simulation. It's very much, at its core, the legacy of SSX.
Now tell me about your role, because you were involved with the character development and actually sort of reinventing them again.
It's been a few years since the game's been out, so we had to look at the characters and say, how are they going to be different? We also reached out to the fans on a big contest to see who was most popular characters. I took all that information and kind of made my choices of who was going to be coming back, and then we're bringing in a few new ones too.
Now obviously you're big into your comic books. Tell me about Comic-Con.
We had a great setup. We were showing the game videos, and I gave away thousands of comics to the fans. And I also got to sit and talk about the characters, the direction I took with them, and just about writing the comic. It was a huge success.
How many comics do you actually own yourself?
7,000.
And you've got a separate room to put all those in as well.
Separate room and a storage locker, yeah.
You've just released all the names of the characters. Now I know fans have been so intrigued about that.
Yeah, I mean, one of my big favorites is Zoe, and she's actually kind of the main character of the game. She's the one who out and recruited her friend Mac, who's a big Mac Fraser, who's coming back. Bringing back Simon, Crazy Simon, Sketchy Simon as he's known, and Elise, who's a huge fan favorite, now with her in the wingsuit. And they look cool. A lot of fans super happy, got a lot of feedback on them, so.
They've got almost a superhero vibe to the new outfits, I feel.
Yeah, actually one of the big inspirations we had was snowboarding superheroes. They don't
Cool.
have like full-blown superpowers, but they're larger than life and they can pull off stuff that, of course, no one else can.
So we've had some fans from Twitter post some questions for you. Shady Sands asks, can you ask if it will control like EA's Skate or like traditional SSX?
We're still kind of in the middle of playing with different controller configurations. It's not exactly what Skate was, and it's not exactly what it was in old SSX, and we're still kind of playing around with the sticks and the buttons and trying to figure out which one will actually work the best.
Next up, Dan Carrera says, SSX Tricky soundtrack was incredible. Will SSX follow in those footsteps?
And we're spending a lot of time and effort really handpicking each track, paying close attention, and we're going to be introducing some new stuff with the music that the fans will like when they're playing the game.
And we can exclusively reveal the final character to be announced in the SSX lineup. It's a brand new character named Ty, whose fearless skill doing big air got him noticed by and recruited into the SSX team.
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12, the Masters, is making the jump from consoles. For the first time, PC and Mac gamers can play on the greens of Augusta and relive memorable Masters moments from the 6th of September. You can pre-order it for download at the Origin store. There's no denying that Mass Effect 2 is a great game. In fact, it's the highest rated EA game ever.
Like many of you out there, I'm a huge fan of the series, and I even got to have a little go on Mass Effect 3 the other day.
I know you did. I didn't, did I?
I'm blessed, Sean. What can I say? I'm
So
blessed.
lucky this time.
I asked David Silverman from Bioware some probing questions about it.
Probe away.
How do you already improve on a BAFTA award-winning series?
Really, it's just a matter of really doing a lot of, internal reflection, looking at, things could have been improved on, and really trying to improve on those things. And I'm happy to say that with Mass Effect 3, I really feel like it's the best game in the series, and probably one of the best games we've ever made.
Shepard warned us they were coming, but we didn't listen.
So we've seen certain things about what's happening in this game. Earth's under attack, the Reapers are coming. So what else is in store?
We've been hinting at what's going on with this big war, and finally, you know, this is the war. So the Reapers, or this ancient alien race, have hell-bent on destruction of all life as we know it. They've come, they've invaded, they've taken Earth, as you've said, and it's up to you as Commander Shepard to sort of rally the forces of the galaxy, make alliances with different civilizations to try to, you know, create this epic force to sort of fight the Reapers and wipe them out once and for all.
And again, I guess you're going to have to make certain decisions in the game.
You're going to have to make decisions that will actually not only impact the fate of, you know, humanity, but also determine the survival of entire civilizations.
It's quite a weight on your shoulders, isn't it?
It's, you know what, if anyone else, I don't think they could handle it, but Commander Shepard, hopefully he's up to the task.
The combat system seems a lot more fluid as well.
Combat is a huge thing into the game. We're really trying to make this game sort of on par with some of the best action titles that you can play in today, and really kind of deliver that sort of over-the-top, you know, Hollywood blockbuster kind of spectacles inside the game as well.
So should people that like the previous Mass Effect games be concerned this is all shooting, or has it still got the RPG elements that we come to expect?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely want to make sure that the game has a nice balance between, you know, hardcore, awesome, over-the-top action, and also these really deep, you know, customization mechanics. We've added new functionality as well, something called the weapon bench, where literally all throughout the game you're going to find these benches. You can throw your weapons onto it, your gun onto it, full modding and customization. So all that in there. We've also enhanced the skills trees so that when you level up, you have so much more freedom and customization to really kind of specifically tinker, you know, just to the liking of each of your characters. Or if you don't care about any of that, you just hit auto level up and you're good to go.
We all know you can play Mass Effect as a male Shepard and a female Shepard. Fem Shep, I know you've just announced a couple of weeks ago that actually she's going to appear on the box. Have you chosen the Fem Shep face yet, the default one?
So, you know, the community was very outspoken. They wanted to see, you know, female Shepard represented in some form. Yeah. So we decided we'd heed that call. Fem Shep does appear on the collector's edition box, and we decided that we'd even, you know, give it to the community to allow them to pick what the look of Fem Shep is. So we're happy to say we've chosen that look based on their feedback, and that's the one you'll see.
Now, when Mass Effect came out, it was pretty much said that it would be a trilogy. We've had Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 coming out in March. Please tell me it can't stop there, can it?
You can definitely expect us to see us expanding this series beyond, whether it's other games, other platforms, things like that. We really feel like we have something special here with Mass Effect, and there's plenty more stories to tell.
That is really good news. So this isn't the last of Mass Effect.
This is not the last of Mass Effect.
So in terms of that, I mean, the movie that's coming out, can you tell us a bit about what that's all about?
So I can't go into too many specifics, but there was a panel recently at Comic-Con. Legendary Pictures is optioned the film. We're really excited about it, working with some premier talent on that. And really, you know, all I can kind of say is that the movie is going to have a lot of influence and definitely parallel the first adventure that you've seen with Mass Effect.
Certainly looking forward to it, David. Thanks for joining us today, and I cannot wait to play Mass Effect 3.
No, we can't wait to have everybody play it too.
And that movie will be hopefully hitting the big screens next year, if internet rumours can be believed.
Rumours? Isn't everything on the internet true, Sean?
No!
Right, from one role-playing game to another, Reckoning is a fantasy RPG that has a lot going for it. Not only does it have a combat system akin to a fighting game, it also has the creative input of Spawn creator Todd McFarlane and fantasy author R.A. Salvatore.
Reckoning's producer Ben Smith joined me on the orange sofa to tell us more. Now, Ben, what's really created a buzz about this game is, of course, the 3 creative principles behind the game. Can you tell us a bit about them and how they've got involved with this?
So each of them is kind of involved in the project at different levels. RA has been kind of involved with the project for a long time, and he first kind of sat down and created this 10,000-year Bible of everything that has gone on in this world. So his contribution really was to lay a foundation for what the Big Huge team wanted to do with Reckoning itself, and provide lore and creature backgrounds and stuff like that. Ken Ralston, he's worked with the team on a daily basis, and he's very much focused on what makes a good open world RPG from a overall world lore and how players interact with that, but also just kind of guiding principles of what not to do as much as what to do. And then Todd, he has really contributed to the team on all levels of art oversight, like providing feedback on environmental stuff, creature stuff, particularly combat animations. Guy does a parry that slows down time and then stabs a guy in the stomach 4 times. You can see Todd at his Comic-Con panel a couple years ago getting up on a table and talking about when you stab somebody, you lunge into him.
If I'm gonna kill something, I'm gonna rear back because I'm gonna jab this guy. If I don't like you, I'm killing you hard.
So he really pushes the animators for there to be emotion in the animation. They all kind of provide different areas of help and expertise to the team.
How is Reckoning different from other RPGs?
Well, I think the place that we intentionally have tried to stand out the most is in our action combat. It's fast, it's fluid, the animations are very high detail. We take some other conventions from fighting games like juggles and launches and stuff like that, and integrally how you've invested your points in the RPG systems. Tying those two things together right, so you don't have to be great at either to get by in the game, but if you are really good at both of those things, picking the right abilities, putting points into the right weapons, and using those right in combat, I mean, you could kill enemies that are 5, 6, 7, 8 levels higher than you and feel really powerful while doing it. It is a big world. There's 5 distinct geographical locations, over 120 plus unique dungeons, 4 big cities, a bunch of different towns that act as quest hubs. It's a very visually diverse game. You kind of have to play the game to realize that you can be in forest and then you're on this rocky red desert. So that's kind of the big open world piece, but there's also a lot of RPG systems, right? There's 3 crafting types, alchemy, creating potions, there's blacksmithing, breaking down and creating new armors and weapons.
If you're not big at combat, if that's not your key skill,
Right.
Will you be frustrated and stuck on a level, or?
Not if we've done our job. If you are an RPG gamer and you're afraid of action combat, if you're investing points well, because you're an RPG gamer, you'll get through it. You may not learn all the nuances of each weapon, you may not invest in unlocking special attacks. That's fine. Totally valid way to play the game.
Right, that's it for another show. Thanks for watching and thanks for getting in touch. We do read all your messages. You can, of course, email us at pwned@ea.com, and you can subscribe to us by clicking on the yellow box here by Mahid. Something for our Scottish viewers there.
Yeah, you can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Electronic Arts.
Or you can stalk us nicely at facebook.com/Electronic Arts UK.
Join us on next month's show when we'll be coming direct to you from Gamescom in Germany.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.